Hello, Balaji. It's an honor to have you here. You have not only created the Causing Incredible Performance framework, but you've inspired many people, including me, in producing extraordinary results using this particular framework. So today, I'm very glad that our audience is also getting an opportunity to hear directly from you about the origin of CIP, what made you come up with it, and what's the essence of it. So thank you so much for taking out your time and enlightening all of us.
Thanks, Nidhi. It is also my privilege and my pleasure to have this in to talk to you about things which you want to talk about today,
Sure.
so that it can be of use to the your viewers. My
Thank you,
privilege.
Balaji. Thank you. So I'm going to begin at the beginning. What inspired you to come up with this framework causing incredible performance?
Okay, I need to crush maybe about 35, 40 years into a
Okay,
few minutes.
sure.
Uh, Ever since my college days, through my studies, through my doctorate in IIM Ahmedabad, and then my teaching career for 17 years and then 13 years in the corporate sector. Throughout this period, my focus has been on people, leadership, performance, etc., etc. That is what I has been my at the at the bottom of my heart. And when I decided to be on my own, I
Mhm.
said, what do I want my life to be about hereafter?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm talking about almost 13, 14 years ago from now, back in the 2013. Then, to cut a long story short, based on the kinds of results people had produced through my training, my coaching, and my mentoring, and maybe even by my writing,
Mhm.
I found that people were producing very, very measurable results,
Mhm.
which were extraordinary, right?
Okay.
And the context in which they were producing those results had not changed. In the same context, people were producing results far, far higher than what they would have otherwise done without applying something from my training or coaching. I said there is something, if I can learn from that, those experiences. We are talking about almost 200, 250 such examples, which I know
Okay.
personally,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And if we could learn something from it and convert it into a learnable and practicable approach, and then we take it to people, then anybody would have an opportunity to cause those kinds of results. When I say extraordinary results, to give you a hint, it's about if I would have normally produced X as a result, the kind of extraordinary results people produced would range from anywhere from 2x to even 30, 40x in the same period of time, in the same context. Now,
Amazing.
while there are many models, theories, uh, training program designs, consulting assignments, etc., which are all focused on individuals and organizations and teams' performance improvements. I did not see any one of them which can address the kind of issues of this type. I mean, there are thoughts which say that okay, go for the moon, right? Aim high. Very nice. They are all important, motivating uh, slogans,
Mhm.
useful, valuable. But then how? Right? That was the question. That is where I found that this this approach, when I come up with it, can be of great value uh, to anybody on under the sun because it
Okay.
is so versatile, right? And that's how I came up with this. And once I came up with this, and we got in the initial stages a few organizations agreed to apply this, get this applied in their respective organizations.
Mhm.
And we found about 95% of the people who participated in these programs actually created those kinds of results. Then I knew it works. And then we expanded the scope of this work to different kinds of organizations, different kinds of people, both at work and in their personal life, private life. And we found that irrespective of the context, people can produce the incredible results by applying the framework. So I know, so it is came out of that a, a commitment to come up with an approach which can be learnt and which can be actually practiced in action. That was my commitment. I came up with this and then we tested it initially and then I found it works.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
the that's maybe the answer for your question.
Wonderful. And it's so good to know that it's based on experience and real results and not just a theoretical exposition. Thank you so much. So, if you had
May I just
power,
add one more thing to this,
yes,
if you don't
please.
mind?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Given that we are talking about one of the, given that we are talking about uh, extraordinarily high results, different kind of results, one of the one key feature of this approach is that the elements, lot of elements of this approach are are they don't fall in line with the current thinking in
Okay.
a way, therefore they are radical,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
So it is only when you think and do radical things that you'll produce radical results, right? If you think the normal way and therefore you do normal things, you will produce normal results. So a
Yes.
lot of things in this are radical thoughts and actions. That's what excited me when I created it. That's what I found.
And I see every day that you continue to remain excited about it.
Oh, why not? Why not? Why not? Because I see this is working, yeah. It is helping people and organizations and maybe even the society, right? The- See, people apply this framework, they produce an incredible results, and that incredible result has a larger impact down the line. And those are very, very touching. And it is a matter of great fulfillment. So I devoted my life to only this. So I refuse to do programs or whatever uh, on any other topic.
Yes. Yes.
So my entire mind space and my heart is only with CIP, nothing else.
Okay. So, if you had the power to take it anywhere at scale, where would you like it being applied systematically, comprehensively? Where will it be?
Okay, let me divide this question in answer to this question into two parts.
Sure. Hmm.
Where would I like it to be taken? Where
Hmm.
is my heart?
Hmm.
And the second thing is about the scale.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you can
Hmm.
look at scale in different ways. I'll in this question I'll answer scale in a particular way,
Sure.
which is
Hmm.
connected to where my heart is. See, the point is, I said the causing incredible performance framework, that approach is versatile. The sense that it actually can be applied by anybody in any context,
Hmm.
right? That's too huge a canvas. Therefore, so far we have gotten it very successfully applied in uh, business corporations, in the private sector, in various kinds of industries. We gotten it applied in the government systems. We gotten it applied in the development sector, non-governmental organizations, charitable organizations, and so on, right? Educational institutions, this, that, a variety of organizations, a variety of people. They're all important. They are all valuable by themselves. where do I want this to be applied in? Where would my focus be? And I must say, I'm not very sure about how to take it there. Let me preface it with that. Where I would like to see this being applied is those kinds of systems where the downstream impacts can be large, and those are what I call public systems. When I say public systems, I'm talking about things like this. Maybe some other language can be used instead of public system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, let's say, the bureaucracy, government bureaucracy, at the central federal level to your local administration level, local government level,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, so we are talking about the entire bureaucracy there. So in the Indian bureaucracy, it could be from high-level secretaries to at the grassroots level, some village level officers, and so on and so forth, right? That's the bureaucracy. Second, because they are huge, and one person causing one incredible performance has a huge impact, right? I'm sure you can come up with, if you want examples, we can talk about it later.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Second is the political system, right? People who are in politics. This could include and exist at a current time existing elected representatives from the state government, the parliament, right? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, to a state government assembly, or if states have legislative councils, MLCs, to at a village level panchayat elections. And so people who are in that, those who are already elected at various levels, or people who are in the various levels in a political party structure. They're all into straight away politics, right? Political parties. Now, so that is another one. We can discuss more about this if you want. Third, which I can see is agencies and organizations which are devoted to social development in various things, right? It could range from integrated rural development to urban development to, so we call them non-governmental organizations, right? NGOs, not for profits.
Mm-hmm.
They're all devoted for some cause or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Then there could be individuals who don't belong to the bureaucracy now. They don't belong to any political party. They are not a part of an organization, nor do they have an organization on their own. But these are all individual leaders in communities or bigger levels, at higher levels, who are working for causes, social causes, right? So those could be another set of people. So these are the kind of this is the kind of group which I want CIP to be applied by CI to be taken to them, and those people, each one of them causing one incredible performance, has the potential to impact thousands and lakhs of lives. Just one person, one impact, one result can have that kind of an impact.
Yes. 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 Extraordinary. And
Yeah, that's where my heart is.
wonderful to know that. Wonderful to know that. And all power to you so that this can be taken to a larger number of people.
Thank you.
Often, this category of people is dealing with too many issues, or they're overwhelmed, under-supported, or not getting the kind of support, or their credibility is low. The systems that they're working with are outdated or not supportive enough. Then how can they begin? What is required for CIP to be effective with these people? Is there some preparatory work required? How can they begin?
Somewhere it has to start. Okay, I don't know where, and it doesn't matter where. All that we need is either in the bureaucracy or in a political party or anywhere, or the NGO sector or a community leader. One of them saying, "Hey, listen, let me try it out." So that one change maker is required,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that can be snowballed. So we are talking about change leaders, right? Then there can be followers and adapters and all that. So there is one, at least a few people in the initial stages in each of these systems to take this forward. We have done a lot of work in the NGO sector, I know, and we have done some little work in the government bureaucracy and the public sector companies. We have done some little work. So what is required is one taking it up and seeing its impact. Then I think it can catch, right? Now that is what I well, that's what is there. So when you asked the earlier question about scale, so
Yes.
the
Mm.
scale is about the scale of impacts which one result can have. We're not talking about scaling it up, right? The, the
Yes.
scale of impacts is what
Mm.
I want to mention. So here, what is required is some agency taking it up and getting it done. Uh, what will what will that require is huge amount of networking from us and actually uh, inspiring one person. I think we are not yet able to locate those kinds of people who can be the champions of this yet.
Okay.
Though
Okay.
we have taken some steps, it is taking a very long time, but I'm sure it will happen.
Sure. Sure. Uh,
We have already taken steps with the government programs, right? Like the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Now,
yes.
why can't be replicated or taken to other programs like the Pradhan Mantri Har Har Ghar Ka Jal, no, Nal
Ghar
Se
Ghar
Jal,
Jal. Yes.
yeah, or any other Swachh Bharat, any other, I don't know. Every one of them is important. We have also taken some initial steps to talk to some political parties. We actually started work of the CIP with one political party. So we have taken those kinds, and of course, we have done for a large number of NGOs, right? I think we are also doing it for some individual community leaders. Well, they're all there, but we have to now uh, take this message to a larger audience and spread that message. And I think this is what I think the program like what you're attempting will do.
Sure. Sure. For our audience, I want to highlight one thing. Like when you said that all it takes is one individual to say in these systems, one individual to say, I want to try it out. Now, I want to contrast it with a lot of other change interventions where we say one is not enough. Like you have to sort of mobilize a critical mass of people in your organization or in your context, and only then something can happen. So, can you shed light on that? That how even one individual can bring about a significant change?
Yeah. So I respect that other view that you need a critical
Yes.
mass and all that. Now, the
Yes.
point is the CIP framework is an individual framework. While be it can be with certain customization, it can be taken to make it a cultural matter, right?
Hmm.
Incredible performance as a culture of an organization can be done.
Sure.
But given that it is an individual, what I mean by that one individual, we take an example, right? We did this for a Department of Health in one state,
Hmm.
and somebody championed it, right? And the in the state government, the senior level bureaucracy people, right, the secretary or joint secretary, they were willing to try it out. They took the chance, and we did. Now,
Yes.
once they decided, yes, we will do it in our department for the health department,
Hmm.
then we did this for two batches, about almost 45, 50 senior level doctors in various parts of the state,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Now, if nobody got to champion this. Nobody was interested in this. It would not have happened in in that state, no?
Right.
I'm
Right.
talking about that person. That person need not cause incredible performance. That one person may say, hey, listen, yes, I think it is valuable. Let's try it out at least. Maybe do it even a pilot one. Doesn't matter. Now
Yes.
I want this to be at least experimented with in my sphere of control,
Yes.
right? And that happened in everywhere we are done. Let's say even in a corporate, there is one person who
Hmm.
says, hey, I want this to be done for my
Hmm.
company. So we do it for about 200 people in that company, right?
Yes.
That one person who says, I want it done for the company, he or she may not go through the CI, he may not cause incredible performance, but he is at the decision making authority level through which he can get it done. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Right. And just to add to this, the person like the example we are taking of health department, that one doctor, when he or she decided to take on an incredible goal, that person need not have consulted everybody in his or her particular team. Once they took on an incredible goal, they then were able to rally whoever they needed to. But
Yeah,
they did
those are
not need to create a sort of a positive or perfect condition to take the step of taking up a goal.
yeah. How it works is each organization will have its own way of sending people for a program, right? It could be
Yes.
one person, it could be 30 people in a batch or whatever it is. And they have their own way of doing it. We are
Hmm.
perfectly okay with how they select people to go through this, right? So in this case, there was one doctor, or let's say 45 doctors who were within quotes nominated, but they might have also been consulted. If somebody says, no, I don't want to go through this, you can't force that person, right?
Yes.
Now, so this person is going through the program and to cause, so at that time, he doesn't have to take anybody's permission. He did not consult anybody. He did not do any of those.
Yes.
But once he is or she is in the program, achieve that incredible goal, that person has to get the support of everybody else, lot of other people within his own immediate team as well as outside the team. And that is why we have a part of the CIP framework called rally others.
Yes.
That is what we coach that person to do. Whose support you need for achieving your goal, right? What do you want from each one of them? How do you get them to produce those kinds of results for
Results.
you to support your goal? Those are all the things in the part of the CIP framework.
Right. So, in your experience, have you seen that uh, can it work with people who are at very low level or may feel that they do not have too much power to influence things? Or it can also work at middle and senior level? What is your experience of it?
Okay. Again, I'm going to go back to the original statement long ago, a statement which I made some time ago. It can be applied by anybody, right?
Okay.
And at, at junior levels, there are definitely far more. I'm not sure about it. Now that I'm going to start saying it, I'm not sure about it, but I'll still say it. They are under far more constraints than people at senior levels. I'm not sure about that. Maybe senior levels they have fewer constraints, but constraints which are more difficult to overcome. Fewer constraints, but more difficult to overcome,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
For example, in the bureaucracy, if I am the heading a department or a particular function, like I'm a secretary or something, I may have a lot of powers once my minister agrees with this. Now, minister agreeing with that could be just one constraint, but that is a far more difficult constraint than somebody at a junior level saying, okay, now I need another 1 lakh of rupees in my budget, right? 1 lakh of rupees may be easier to get than getting the minister or the government to agree to something which is budget, even if it is budgeted in the government, right? So like that. So there are other kinds of matters. So now SICO it can be applied, but at senior levels, if you have to apply it is going to be for a fewer number of people. So it has to be more one-on-one.
Yes.
And the middle level, middle senior level, executive level, managerial level people, there it can actually be life altering for them because for ages since we knew about the organizations, we know that the middle people in the middle are the ones who are sandwiched by the top as well as by the bottom level of people.
Yes.
So, and they are under much greater stress than any other level in any organization, right? Uh, Only recently I did some little work
Mm.
and I found that that's what it is. The middle level people across organizations, kind of organizations, across industries, the middle level people are the ones who are really crushed. They are the ones who really burn out. They are the ones who really suffer. And they are the ones who really bear the brunt of it. So I think they are the set of people who really can benefit from the CIP in terms of even their personal transformation and their career growth, right?
Oh, sure.
And the return on investment on them is also very high. And they
Right.
can be done as a group. Larger number of people can go through this in one batch.
Sure. Sure. And they're also going to have a fairly large impact in terms of the impact on the citizens receiving the
Correct,
services through them.
correct, correct.
Okay. So, what would be your message to someone who is in this middle level, either in the government or in a political setup or in a non governmental organization, but feeling stuck, feeling or caring very deeply about one or more issues that's really bothering them, but they're not able to think how to do something about it, where to begin? What's your message to such category of people?
One of the matters in this connection, why they are stuck, uh, they are lumping in their head a huge undifferentiated mass of something called change, right?
Mhm.
They want to bring about a huge change. They may even have some vague vision about what the change needs to be, or maybe even a very clear vision about what the change needs to be. But typically, those kinds of changes take a long time, right? Now, then how do we apply causing incredible performance there?
Yeah. Mm.
My message to them is first of all, uh, accept that it can happen. CIP can be useful. Num- That is more through our discussions with them. Second is, in terms of actual practical application, divide that big change into smaller chunks. Okay? You slice them horizontally or vertically. Or you say, okay, to achieve that change, let's take milestones. Okay, what is it that towards that big change, what is it that we will achieve in the next, let's say, 6 months? Now,
Mhm.
that 6 months, you can set a goal, which is incredible goal, which is towards that bigger change you want, right? And apply CIP there. And now you see that you have taken strides which are far wider than what you would have taken otherwise. Because in these 6 months, you are actually producing very measurable results, which are far beyond what you would have otherwise produced. And those results are towards your vision. So it is actually converting that vision for a change into a strategy, goals broken down into milestones, and then applying CIP at each of those. If you break up the change into multiple parts, not necessarily in terms of timeline, then people who are in charge of different parts will do different CIP projects, right? They'll apply it. So you are actually bringing in a group of people to do that. I'm sure you can think of examples if somebody asks for this.
Definitely.
So it
Definitely.
is a question of decluttering your mind about the change which is vague, which is huge, into more manageable parts. That's how anyway you have to do the strategy
Yes. Yes.
and apply it in those smaller parts one after another.
And that will bring in more clarity also.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's what we have seen,
Yes.
right? Somebody, when we coach, they say something big. I want to, I, I ask them, what is it that you want to cause incredible performance about? They
Hmm.
say, I want to bring in huge efficiency in the whole system, right? Huge efficiency in the whole system. They explain to me the problem area. Now, the huge efficiency in the whole system is such a vague vision. It may be very touching to that person's heart. That person's heart may be there. I value that. Now, now we break it down. We say, okay, now when you say efficiency, in what matters do you want that efficiency in, right? What do you define efficiency to be? Is efficiency in different aspects the same? Will the same definition hold good, right? How
Yes.
long will you take? Do you want to do this in? Then we say, okay, with all these things, with all those things decluttered and broken into smaller elements, which is a break into smaller elements is one aspect of simplifying in causing incredible performance. So the minute you break it down into smaller elements, things become much clearer for you yourself. Or just this one question. When somebody says, I want to bring in huge efficiency, right? Simply answering and working with the answer to the question, what do you mean by efficiency? How will you measure it? A conversation to answer that question itself produces huge amount of clarity. Let's say I want to empower women, for example, in our context, which the
Yes.
discussion which you are
Hmm.
having.
Hmm.
Now, two questions come to my mind if I were to coach somebody. It's not, uh, I don't have my own thoughts about it, but I'm helping that person to become clear. I said, when you say empower women, which set of women are you talking about, right? Then we look at how to classify women into certain groups according to that person. It's not my classification, right? Different ways of classifying groups of women, right? Then I say, okay, which is the priority? What are the two or three groups which you will prioritize? Then that person becomes, hey, empowering women, I've been overwhelmed. Now I see I want to empower these two or three sets of women. Okay.
Yes.
That's the clarity which he now has. Now things seem to be more possible to take actions towards. Then I ask the next question. When you say empowerment, assume that you have achieved this goal. And at the end of that period of achieving the goal, I ask you, on what basis do you say that this group of women have been empowered? If I simply ask, what is your definition of empowerment? They will throw from chat GPT or these days or some the olden days, they'll give me all kinds of theoretical conceptual definitions. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about very measurable indicators of empowerment. So I ask this kind of a question. How would you know? How would you show to the world? How would you prove to yourself and anybody that you have actually achieved this goal of empowering women? What would you show as the indicators of empowerment? The minute we get into that conversation, that that purely vague word called empowerment becomes very, very clear to that person. Somebody else may disagree with that definition of empowerment. That's fine. I have no problems with that. Okay. Now, that's another big issue in this kind of sector. Nobody agrees. The two different people don't agree with same thing on the same thing, right? So
Yes.
we say it doesn't matter. Now you are causing incredible performance. You have every right to define things in your own way because you have decided to do it. You may consult anybody. You may take information from variety of sources. All these things are fine. But ultimately, you are 100% empowered to even define what you mean as empowerment, right? Like that. So the minute you break it into smaller elements, that big lump, vague lump, or whatever you want to bring about, then we can get into that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as you're saying, CIP is 100% empowering the person who is being bothered by an issue can define what is that person's priority, what is the change that person is going to bring about, and CIP, a systematic approach, will help that person achieve his goal. It's not the coach's goal. It's not what the word might be
No, definitely
expecting
not. No,
from.
no.
Yeah, it's
We
not.
we don't we don't impose anything in the CIP when we coach people, right? We only ask questions to apply the CIP framework. We even give instructions to apply what part of the CIP framework you should apply. We may even instruct. But how it should be applied in that particular context, that person is the expert, not we or not the people who are coaching. One more small thing is you mentioned people who are bothered, right? That
Yes,
is one kind of impacts people, something which bothers me, right? Which I'm worried about. Maybe I'm even angry about something which is happening in the society. That is one kind of aspect,
possible
one set of
areas.
aspects.
Yes,
Another
yes,
one, it's not like I'm bothered, but I'm actually excited by the possibility of something happening. In
yes,
other words, it's like my health, right? If there is an ill health, I am bothered about it and I go to a doctor. But I don't have to be interested in my health only when I am unwell.
yes,
I may also want to improve my current level of health, for which I don't go to a doctor, maybe I go to a gymnasium, right? Both people are working in the field of health only, doing something about in their own personal health, like that. So it need not be only things which you're worried about. It can also be things which you want, which you're excited about to see the possibility of. In other words, it is like repair or development.
yeah. So
I go
both
to a
are
mechanic
possible.
shop if I want to repair my car,
Hmm.
or I go to a automobile research laboratory if I want to bring about a new model of a car.
Right,
Both can be done.
right. So both kinds of goals can be taken about public matters using the CIP framework.
Yeah. Now, in a in an organization, not all the time you may have the power to decide what you want to do a CIP project about, right?
Yes, yes,
So it is going to be bound by your role. You can call it crudely key result areas, or what kind of aspects are you empowered with? What is your area of work? So
yes,
you pick up one of them, right? But if you want to do something outside your role definition boundaries, you still can do it. Only thing is you have to get somebody else to okay for it. Okay, then. But if you're on your own, you decide what you want,
yes,
right? For example, if I am a, let's say, a district sales manager of one of the three oil marketing companies, right? Now, my primary job is to sell petroleum products,
yes,
right? Now, when I'm working in that district as a district sales manager, I may be interested in saying, hey, listen, this district, this tribal district, I think we need to improve the education in this district. Now, you're most welcome to take it up as your CIP application for applying CIP.
yes,
But then it won't be, may not be supported by your organization, right? If you want this, then you have to rally somebody in your organization to permit you to work on this to apply CIP. Because when it comes to some logistics issues, the company is sponsoring you, they are paying you for it, right? That is where we are coming. Now, if you are able to do, and this has also happened. Some organizations they have said now we don't we are not adamant about what people want to cause incredible performance in. These are the 15 people who are we want to put through the CIP work, and each one can decide what that person wants, right? So some of them took some aspect of that job to cause incredible performance in. Somebody else said, hey, listen, I'm going to restart a passionate hobby which I stopped working on for the last 5 6 years. And both of them caused incredible performance. The organization was okay with it and they paid for both of it, right? Kind of stuff.
yes, yes.
So usually it is bound by your role.
Correct, correct. And once you learn the framework, you can apply it in any aspect of your life because the
Yes,
framework remains same, right?
yes,
And
and
you're developing your muscle to produce
correct,
extraordinary results.
correct. And we also had, though I know of only a few stray cases, but I also know that when, for example, when I am coaching someone on one aspect to cause incredible performance, that person in his and or her own way applied whatever lesson she is learning through my coaching in something else which is
Yes.
not even known to me
Yes.
and cause incredible performance there also simultaneously, actually.
Yes. Yes. Of course. So, thank you for throwing light on so many aspects of CIP, how it began, where you want to see it applied, how people who are in public roles can apply it, how they can begin, and the only thing that's stopping them from beginning is their own. They just need to take the step. They just need to decide that we want to try it out. Uh, and not only the area in which you apply it first, not only that area will benefit, but you can then use the framework to improve other aspects of your life. And what you start with is not very significant. You can just start where it is the easiest for you to start. So, however, without starting, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, one small thing here. A lot of times people say that there are a lot of things happening, and they use terms like there's too much of dust now in my organization. We will take it up when the dust settles,
Okay.
right? When things
Okay.
have become more,
Yes.
become clearer, become more settled, more certain, and
Or
all that.
some phase of some redesign is going
Yeah,
on, or some
yeah,
restructuring is going on when that
right.
ends. Yes.
Now, the way I am seeing the way things are happening in the world, and that too in the near future, and already happening, dust will never settle,
Yes.
right? Things will never be more certain than what they are now. They'll become only more uncertain. Things are not going to be less chaotic than what is now. They'll be only more chaotic. All this chaos, uncertainty, lack of clarity, all these things are going to only increase to an unprecedented level. Now, in those kinds of situations are when you should cause incredible performance, right?
Yes.
Right? So we are not changing anything in, we are not going to, we can't do anything about those, maybe, right? So waiting for a good time to start CIP work to me is a wrong way of thinking. I think it is also because they think it is a training program, right? Now, the minute you say it is a training program, fortunately or unfortunately, actually more unfortunately, according to me, is one of the low priority items in any person's mind or an organization's
Sure.
operations.
Yeah.
Don't look at it as a training program. It is not training. It is actually an intervention to produce results. Don't call it training. Don't call it coaching. You don't call it any of these things here. Simply look at it as an initiative. Even if you don't want to use the word intervention, it's fine. It's an initiative to impact results, which anyway you have to work on, right? Look at it that way. And that is what it is, actually. I'm not asking you to look at it in a different way because CIP is important. No, no, no. Actually, it is not a training program. It is not a coaching program. It is not any of those things. It is actually a way of causing results in matters which anyway you have to cause results in. And only thing is doing those things differently so that the results which you will cause would be far higher than what you would otherwise cause.
Yes.
That's what it is. So look at it that way. So
And causing higher results, I can also say it from my own experience. It just keeps one inspired for much longer once you've done one CIP project, it really opens up your eyes and you can take on bigger challenges that you may not have
True.
been ready to take on before doing the initial project.
Yeah,
So, my invitation to my audience is this is the kind of conversation we will continue. We will bring back Balaji to talk on other topics that you suggest. But this is my invitation to take a jump and start with the first item that you want to start with. Take an incredible goal about it, achieve it, build a muscle, and then go on in this journey of creating more and more extraordinary results, create impact for yourself as well as in the communities where you're performing. So, this conversation is to be continued, Balaji. Thank you so
sure.
much for your time. Are there
But
any final things that you would like to say?
go do it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Because one of the premises of causing incredible performance is that only actions produce results. Any amount of thinking about, ruminating, wondering, considering, all those mental gymnastics will not produce results. Do the action, whatever is required, and do it decisively, is my message. And the promise is you will cause huge results.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Only
Nidhi. All the
actions
best.
produce results. Thank
And
you.
my best wishes, my congratulations to all those who are joining your initiative. Right? All the best for every one of them. It will be my pleasure to talk to any of them individually or as a group, depending upon what turns out as we go along. My commitment to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.